this week, Southampton sacked their manager, and with them being in the bottom three of the Premier League, that only means one thing. It's our turn. I mean, it's definitely not the worst team in the world, but it's definitely not the best either. There's a lot of room for improvement with Southampton. We do have a pretty promising youth academy player to begin with, though. Harry Davies, 16-year-old, 71 rated already. We may actually have to build the team around this guy. And Southampton's board have given us £43 million to try and shape this team into what we want it to be. And I didn't realise initially how many players Southampton had with humongous potential, which is why we have loaned a fair few players out with the likes of Roman Lavia. We have loaned out Kyle Walker-Peters as well as Balakocha. There were some areas of Southampton squad that definitely needed improvement, which is why I have brought in two players this transfer window. The first one being Italian goalkeeper Guglielmo Visario for just over £14.5 million, as well as central defensive midfielder Mauro Arambarro for just over £17 million. And now the team looks like this. Now, I have loaned Kyle Walker-Peters out for one reason. This man right here, Livramento, he is 19 years old. He has got bucket sort of potential, and with Kyle Walker-Peters in this squad, he would get no game time whatsoever. So we've sent him out on loan to give Livramento a chance in the starting 11. We also have one of, if not the best free kick taker in the Premier League, James Ward-Prowse. And my sole objective for this rebuild is to get this man a Champions League as captain, lifting the trophy at the end of this video. If I don't do that, I'll consider this a failure. But looking at this starting 11, I'm quite intrigued to see how Southampton get on in the first season. And halfway through the season, with only 2 signings added to the team, we find ourselves inside the top 6. Boys, Southampton, you know where to find me. On a serious though, we are doing way better than I originally thought we would. And just to give you guys a little update, the team looks like this going into the second half of this season. And boys, I'm really happy with how it's looking. Livramento is really improving quite nicely. And new point, faith in this guy would be the right decision to make over Kyle Walker-Peters. But if we can keep this going, we've got European football in the bag next season. And at the end of this season, we didn't quite get top 6, but we got 8th place in the end, which isn't exactly bad going, is it? I did think we were overachieving just a little bit, but we definitely still done well to get 8th place. As you would imagine, Manchester City did win the Premier League, 6 points clear of second place Manchester United, but the best one, West Ham United, finished freaking 3rd. And in the bottom 3, it was Brighton, Palace and Bournemouth, with Villa beating Chelsea in the FA Cup. Bloody hell, Chelsea, buck up your ideas. Villarreal won the Conference League. Christ, City had a good season this time. And AC Milan won the Champions League. I have to admit, outside of Chelsea, Ward-Prowse is one of my favourite players, man. He's such a good player. 30 goal contributions from the centre midfielder position is actually crazy. Then you got Che Adams with just over 20 goal contributions. Gineppo with over 20 himself. Fucking Davies with 20 goals as well. I'm very tempted to shift him to a central attacking midfielder position. I feel like he'd be so much better in a more attacking role, because if he's getting them goals from a centre midfielder position, imagine what he could do from an actively attacking role in the squad. But season 1's been a straight W. Hopefully it can just continue to go up from here. Now as we enter season 2, the goalkeeper, defence, front 3, I'm leaving alone. I'm just going to focus on that midfield. Ward-Prowse and Arambarro go nowhere, but I want to put a lot of focus on making that midfield as solid as we can possibly make it, because a lot of games are won and lost in the midfield. And with £56 million in the bank, I'm sure we can sort something out. And like I said, I wanted to bolster the midfield, and that is why I brought in Dutch centre midfielder Joey Veerman for just over £27 million. And now the team looks like this. Now that that transfer window is out of the way, that midfield is so solid now. I'm really happy with it. The defensive lineup is brilliant. Parad, Salisu, Kalatakar, and also Livramento are doing just fine. I've got no doubt in my mind that Davies will continue to skyrocket. I'll be 17 years old and 83 rated, man. This guy is just ridiculous. But in the event Gineppo or Che Adams don't continue to improve at the rate that they were doing last season, we do have a little bit of spare money left over from this transfer window that we can use in the January transfer window. But this season, we are gunning for European football. And with that target in mind, I decided to test the boys out against 2-time Champions League winners, Chelsea. And with a little bit of luck inside the half-hour mark, we took the lead. Oh my god, no way, bro! Oh, come on, Gineppo! Oh, Gineppo! 25 minutes in, Ward-Prowse misses his opportunity, bounces straight to Gineppo's direction, and he makes no mistake. After we took the lead though, it became a much more competitive game, but it was very clear to see that Southampton were definitely on Chelsea's level. Oh my god. But unfortunately, due to an inexperienced back four, we choked the lead in the last 10 minutes of the game. Oh no, no! For God's sake. I can't believe how well we played to only freaking throw it away in the last 5 minutes. We always do this. I suppose the good side of this is if we can hang with Chelsea, we can hang with almost anybody in the Premier League. Also a thought. Well, boys, we've taken a humongous step backwards because we're 12th in the league halfway through the season. This time last season, we were literally 6 places higher. I don't know what's gone wrong, but we need to fix it. Just to update you guys, the team now looks like this. We've gone for a 4-2-3-1 formation just to try and sort our complete lack of form out. Instead of converting into a central attacking midfielder, which would literally be over 100 weeks worth of training, we've just put him in a centre midfielder position higher up the pitch. I am hoping that this is the answer to our lack of form. If not, then I think we are going to have to make some big changes next season. From 8th in the league in season 1 to 12th in the league in season 2. Where's it gone wrong, man? We've got a far better squad now. Liverpool this time won the league, beating Manchester United to it by 3 points. Man City fell off a little bit this season, but it was Nottingham Forest, Sheffield United and Fulham who got relegated, with West Ham beating Manchester United in the FA Cup final. West Ham didn't do too bad at all this season, did they? Somehow PSG were in the Conference League, Fenerbahce won the Europa League, Milan won the Super Cup, and Juve got their Champions League after all. I know I said he was going to be a baller, but Jesus Christ, I did not expect him to turn out to be this goddamn good. Although his stats aren't exactly good, his overall definitely is. Gineppo and Che Adams didn't do too bad. Ward-Prowse, 20 goal contributions from that central attacking midfielder position, not bad at all. Veerman didn't do too bad either this season. I think though in season 3, in order to progress, we're going to have to bring in some serious changes to the squad. There's only a couple of areas we really need to work on this season. The fullback and the striker. Once we've got that sorted, I truly believe we'll be back on the right track. And to do this, we've been given £68 million to spend. And the 2 transfers we made, I am certain are going to help us achieve our goals this season. We brought in fullback Jose Gaia for just over 27 million, as well as French striker Anthony Martial for just over 31 million as well. Which leaves the team looking like this. That starting 11 is looking stacked. Our subs bench actually looks pretty solid now with the return of Bazunu in goal. And with this team, I'm expecting European football next season. So halfway through this season, somehow we are top of the league by 4 points. We are top of the Premier League halfway through season 3. Isn't it crazy the difference 2 signings can make? Southampton, you know where I am. And this is an update for you guys on how the team is actually looking going into the second half of this season. And boys, look at how good this team has become, man. Obviously, there's still work to do. Maybe showing up this defensive lineup next season. Maybe getting a new winger in the place of Gineppo next season. But that is for season 4. Right now, we are cruising in the Premier League. And hopefully, I don't even care if we don't finish at the top of the league. I just want European football. As well as doing incredibly well in the Premier League, we'd also made it to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. And we were facing off against the league leaders right now, Manchester City. I know it's not the final, but if we can beat Manchester City, we will look exceptionally good going into the Champions League next season should we qualify. And with a beautiful through ball from Martial, we took the lead inside 10 minutes. Oh, what a ball. He's through. He's through. Davies. He's going to sweat it to Gineppo, making it 1-0 inside the 10-minute mark. Come on, Southampton. And with a lovely counter-attack early in the second half, we doubled our lead. Gineppo. If we cut inside. Oh, that's fouled beautifully. That could not have been any better if I tried. That was the flukiest pass I think I've ever made in this game. But with some shocking defending from me, we conceded a penalty. Oh no. Oh, for God's sake. Come on. It's going to go... For God's sake, man. Haaland is never, ever missing a penalty, is he? But then James Ward-Prowse ended the game in style. Oh, that's beautiful. James Ward-Prowse with the dink. Oh, with the dink, James Ward-Prowse, our captain, makes it 3-1, and we are into the finals. And there it is, boys. We've beaten Manchester City. We have beaten the favourites to win this competition in the semi-finals. It's all looking good heading towards the end of this season, let me tell you. Well, boys, we've got European football next season. We are second in the league at the end of this campaign. We didn't finish top of the league, but I'm not really too bothered. Finishing second place is a remarkable achievement considering last season we finished 10 places lower. And this time it was Burnley, Palace and Bournemouth who got relegated. Oh man, that would have been a story, wouldn't it? Beating City in the semis, then beating United in the finals, but it wasn't to be this time. time. City did win the Carabao Cup though. Wolfsburg won the Conference League, with Liverpool winning the Europa League. Juve won the Super Cup, with AC Milan once again winning the Champions League. Jesus Christ, they're on smoke this freaking rebuild, aren't they? How has Che Adams scored more than Anthony Martial this season, man? I don't understand how this game works. If you put someone in the starting 11, keep them there. I think we've got at best 3 more seasons of James Ward-Prowse in the Southampton starting 11 before he starts really dwindling in overall, meaning we have 3 seasons really to get James Ward-Prowse that Champions League trophy. But after this season, I think we're definitely heading in the right direction. Now, because we're in the Champions League this season, there's certain areas on this pitch we have to improve whether we like it or not. Fortunately enough, though, we've been given £122 million to improve the squad. In this transfer window, I went for 2 big signings to give us the best chance possible going into the Champions League. That's why the first signing I opted for was Wesley Fofana for just over 48 million. And I wanted a better winger than Gineppo, so that's why I went for French winger Diop for just over 38.5 million as well. And now the team looks like this, and due to the fact that we brought in 2 very big signings, those 2 players that were originally in the starting 11 in Gineppo and Saliso have made the subs bench just that little bit stronger, increasing our squad depth. It's a solid team. We're not quite there yet, but I've definitely got a good feeling about the Champions League this season. And speaking of, we are in Group A, joined by PSG, Frankfurt and Lech Poznan. Now, you've got to fancy ourselves in PSG every day of the week. Well, not only did we go through to the round of 16, we topped the freaking table, even beating PSG to the top spot. Now, that's when you know you're doing something bloody right. It looks like everything we've been doing is working, but we are in the round of 16 against Stadrin. Surely to God, we've got to get to the quarters. Surely. Halfway through the season, we're inside the top 4, which is exactly where I want us to be. And just to update you guys, the team looks like this going into the second half of this season. I'll be honest with you, there's one signing I'm really disappointed with, Diop. I literally may as well have stuck with Gineppo. Gineppo's 83 rated, Diop's 83 rated. What was the point? But after taking a proper look at this team now, I can't even lie to you, I fancy our chances. Admittedly, I was very confident going up against Stade Rennais in the round of 16. Our first game was away from home, and we did end up picking a 1-0 win up. 1-0 up, and now we're at home in the second leg. Boys, finish this off and book our place in the quarters. There we go. Why did we have to make that so freaking difficult for ourselves? I was a little more nervous in the quarters because we were coming up against a team that had already won the Champions League twice already in this rebuild alone, AC Milan. But Southampton surprised me with picking up a 3-2 victory away from home. I think personally we are underestimating ourselves at every team, because if we've just beaten AC Milan 3-2 in the first leg, we've already won this competition twice already in this rebuild, we can definitely do damage. So let's see if we can replicate the first leg's form. Oh my God, we're in the semi-finals. Boys, we've just beaten the team who've won this competition twice already in this rebuild alone. Boys, we're on to something here. This one was hands down our biggest challenge yet. Barcelona in the semis, but we do pick up a 2-2 draw in the first leg. 2-2 on aggregate at St Mary's. It all comes down to this. Can the Saints put their place in the Champions League final this season? Come on! We've done it! 4-3 overall, 2-1 on the night. Ward-Prowse, our captain, Gineppo as well, gets us our place in the final. But we had unfinished business elsewhere this season. We had made it to our second FA Cup final in 2 seasons, but this time we were playing against Leicester City, and I intended to get James Ward-Prowse 2 trophies to lift this season. And after 90 minutes, well, I'll let myself tell you how I feel about it. That is honestly the worst 90 minutes of football I've ever played. And honestly, extra time was no different. Why are Leicester City so dead to play against, man? That was so boring. It was ridiculous. Penalty shootout it is. We have Diop up first, who was absolutely shit in that game as well. But at least in the penalty shootout, he actually provides some freaking value to the team. We're going to go right. Come on! That's a beautiful start, right. Che Adams. We're going to go top right. Bloody hellfire. Right, okay, left. Oh, for God's sake, you taking the... Che Adams, you're a striker. Oh, come on. Right, okay. Left. Beautiful stuff here, man. Beautiful. Right. Ramos, you're going to go again to the... I don't like Leicester City. Parade. Top left. Top left. Good lad. Don't let me down. Okay, okay, okay. Let's save this. James Ward-Prowse. Top left. Don't let us down. Don't let us down. Oh my God, no. No. If Leicester City score this, it's game over. They're going to go... Oh my God, Leicester City have won. Leicester City have won the FA Cup in what has got to be the most boring FA Cup final I have ever played in my entire life. Leicester City, you absolute shithouses. We may have lost the FA Cup final, but there's no way now we're going to make 2 finals this season and we are going to leave James Ward-Prowse trophyless. It just goes from bad to worse, doesn't it? We finished 6th in the league this season. We've dropped from 2nd place last season to 6th place this season, and what's even worse, the bottle jobs have freaking won it. I felt deflated enough as it is that we lost the FA Cup final, but Spurs winning the Premier League, that's just the icing on the cake. But Forest, Watford and Sheffield United did get relegated. As you all know, we lost the FA Cup final, but we did beat the bottle jobs to win the Carabao Cup final, which in its own right is a little bit of a bonus. Real Sociedad won the Conference League, Real Madrid won the Europa League, Liverpool went on to win the Super Cup, and our opponents in the Champions League final are gonna be Bayern freaking Munich. Now, considering we've just lost to Leicester City, I am going into this game slightly freaking worried, but it's going to be a totally different game because it's the Champions League final and there's so much more at stake this time. At 31 years old, James Ward-Prowse is the 2nd highest goal scorer and 2nd highest assister. This man deserves that Champions League trophy this season. He has put in the season of all seasons. This entire rebuild, my sole purpose has been to get James Ward-Prowse that Champions League trophy. He's on the very cusp of doing so as well. The one team standing in our way, Bayern Munich. We've already lifted 1 trophy this season. Can we make it a double? And we couldn't have asked for a better start. Marshall, oh my god, how we pulled that one off, I'll never know. But we've just made it 1-0 inside 15 minutes of this game being played. Boys, I'll be honest with you, I don't even know how I've just done that, but I'm so happy I did it. And I'm not sure how to explain this, so I'll just let you watch. No. 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 I am so done with FIFA 23. I am so done. Since when does that happen in real life? How does that even work? Then in the dying seconds of the game, this happened. James Ward-Prowse to win the game! Oh my god! James Ward-Prowse has won the game in the dying seconds of this match! Oh my god! Who else would it be but Captain James Ward-Prowse to dig Southampton out of the grave they just dug themselves into and win them the Champions League freaking final? That has surely got to be the last kick of the game, and it is. Boys, you could not write a better ending. James Ward-Prowse, in the dying seconds of the game, has won Southampton the Champions League final. We may have chucked the FA Cup final against Leicester, but boy did we make up for it in the Champions League. But that is where we are going to end this video. If you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, smash the hell out of that subscribe button if you are new around here, turn that notification bell and so you never miss a video I upload. We are on the road to 7,000 subscribers and we are so freaking close now. That is all from me. It has been your boy Gordon. Hope you guys have an amazing afternoon, and until next time, I'll see you later.